everyone, and welcome back to the Sam and Billie show with me, Sam, and my beautiful big sister, Billie.
Hi, everyone. How are you, Samantha? I feel like we should start our podcast with bump updates.
Yeah, true. Well, as you can see, I'm sitting here with my pregnancy pillow.
Yeah, that's a definite. That's essential now.
This actually comes everywhere with me, and I think I said it last week, my sleeping isn't great, I've got to be honest.
Can I just say, your bump looks a different shape today. The baby's moved.
The baby has moved because I can't.
It looks a really different shape.
I think at the moment the baby's laying long ways.
Yeah.
Across my, like this.
I was going to say, because you've gone from being like more high, now that
it's quite low. When I stand up, and in a little while I'll show you, I'll put my top down, it's quite low, but I'm sure, I don't know. And I felt like last night, did I feel fingers and toes?
Oh my gosh,
it was almost like tickling me. And then I thought, no, you're just dreaming, because I'm really delirious, you know, like in the night.
Yeah, where you're not sleeping properly.
So anyway, this pillow comes absolutely everywhere, but all good. I had a checkup the other day. It's quite good actually. So when you have a home birth, I'm having an NHS home birth, it's not private.
Yeah.
When you have a home birth, apart from your scans, you have all your appointments at home. So the midwife comes out to you. So you have your bloods, your checkups, the measurements.
Well, even your blood tests?
All of it is at home.
Oh, wow. It's really impressive.
So even if last minute you decided, I want to go into hospital, it doesn't matter. But how much better having all your appointments at home?
Oh, that used to be, I used to read, like...
Yeah, like having to go up to the hospital all the time, sit and wait.
Park, queue, like, it's, yeah.
So, little tip.
Yeah. Home birth all the way.
Yeah. And that was all fine, but yeah, she's like, I can hear the heartbeat, but I want to get something clear. And I was like, I'm telling you, I feel like this baby's got done like a somersault in my stomach because it does feel.
Did she say that like the baby's moved? Or?
I don't know, but you know, like some midwives, I've had a couple different ones come home at the minute. Some are like kind of really gentle, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sort of, but she was like, literally, can I just have a little feel? And you know, when they like really press hard, like. I feel like when you're pregnant, I'm really gentle with my bump.
Yeah.
And even if the kids run into me, I'm like, be careful with mummy.
Yeah.
Like, you do forget they are really protected.
They are, but you do feel that way.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
She went in with her hands and was like really like pressing down to find like what position the baby was in. Oh, sorry. But it was like, it would make me feel a bit sick. I was like, are you not?
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Well, it's like when you hear of those stories when they... like they try and turn the baby for you. So, you know, like some people are coming near to labour and
it's the baby still breech.
Yeah. And they try and, that can be, but I remember, I think it was with Nelly.
Was it right at the last point?
Nelly was breech for quite a long time. Nelly was breech quite close to giving birth, and I remember the night that she turned. I knew that she
felt it.
I was so sick. I remember I was never sick throughout my pregnancy of Nelly, and I remember waking up and being so sick and ill and feeling really dizzy and faint.
They've just got into a complete different position.
Yeah, and I went and had her checked, and the midwife said, she's now finally head down.
Apart from back to back.
Yeah, apart from that.
Same with Paul.
Have you bought much stuff yet?
Nothing. All I've got is the baby grows. The baby grow you got me.
Yeah.
And Claudia got me a couple baby grows. That's all I have.
So what are you going to, like, 'cause I feel like since we had babies, there's probably a lot more gadgets out there and lots of different...
I think there is.
Like, obviously prams, you're going to have one of your own prams, but like...
Yeah.
Car seats, like essentials.
I think, do you know what as well? Like, I've got 3 baby bags. I know it's like, it does sound ridiculous. You bought me that lovely one first time round.
Yeah.
And then Big Paul had like a more of a manly one because he was like, when I had the baby, I want it to be. And then I've got the other one that, I don't know, I treat myself to it, a Fendi one, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I don't need a baby bag. I don't need stuff.
Do you know what? It's good
silly,
though to reuse what you've got. Because...
And I'm just like, apart from like, I need to go and get a load of fresh baby grows and bits.
Yeah.
Other than that, I do think when it's your third child, you're not going to buy all the gadgets.
No.
I've still got that, is it called Mummaroo? I don't know what they are. The little floating chair.
Oh, yeah, they were really good. I had that for Nelly and Arthur.
I have kept that. But other than that, I think Paul and Rosie are going to be like their baby's little entertainers.
Oh,
like,
they're going to be so good.
Aren't they? They're going to be like cooing constantly.
Yeah, you're not going to need any toys. Can we just talk about, though, me and Samantha and I were talking about these the other day, and I don't know, like any mums listening, you might be on the same path with us, but there's a real shortage of terry towel in baby grows, right?
I know.
We
Where
used
on
to
earth?
buy, and remember, like they were our favourite things to buy from Mother
They wash the
Care
nicest
for the babies,
soft.
and they're like non-existent. I think like a few Instagram boutiques might sell them, but
They're not the same.
They're not the same.
Did
yeah,
because we used to get them from Mother Care, didn't we?
we did, and obviously Mother Care isn't around anymore.
So strange.
So it's like we need to find the terry towel in baby
But
grows.
that soft terry toweling, not the
not like the coarse. It's like that. Oh, they were just the best.
The best. But yeah, so I
I
haven't
might
got
have some actually from Arthur. I might be able to dig you out.
dig me some out. And yeah, and depending on whether I have a boy or a girl, if you've got any boy or girl baby grows.
Yeah. Have some, a few little hand-me-downs in the family.
I did have a dream the other day. I think I've had a few of these dreams. I had another dream that it was a boy. But I have had that dream before, haven't I?
It's going to be so exciting though, isn't it? Like just to be like, what babe? Like
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be like staring into the birthing pool. Like,
Oh my gosh.
is it a boy? Is it a girl? But yeah, so my journey in again, I just when I sit, that's why I've got my pillow. I just can't seem to get myself that comfortable.
Yeah, you're
And
getting that heavier pressure on you now. On your
exactly,
hips,
and
on
this
your-
is and this is last trimester. You know, I've made it through I'm at the end now. You know, so it's getting.
But I feel like you have had the quickest pregnancy ever. I don't know
It
whether
has
it's
gone
because
really
you're not like one of these people on Instagram like where you constantly post
Yeah.
every single
Bump
which
updates,
like obviously
this,
you
that.
know it's lovely and
Yeah.
some people do love to do that, and obviously other mums that are pregnant like to watch that journey, but I feel like your pregnancy has gone so quick because you just sort of post now and then, like
I do think that is a big part of it. I think if you're just sort of like posting here and there, and you know when you do posting here and there, it's like, oh, she's got bigger. Like, do you know what I mean? Rather than doing every single day bump updates, it can go on forever, and I find that a little bit boring.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I think like I
it's
don't want to
just
bore
gone
people with the
so
bump stuff.
quick. Like when I think about when you first told me, and you was like very early on, like I just can't believe that in just over 2 months the
Yeah.
baby's going to be here.
I know. I can't
You've
believe
created
it myself.
life.
Another little baby. But yeah, my cab driver this morning, and when they put it in Waze, it does annoy me a little bit because
Oh, it goes all around the houses.
I was going all around the houses over every single bump you could imagine.
Oh,
like
not
in
good
the
for the
road.
bladder.
And I was just like, oh, and you know, just not very comfortable at all. And on this really stupid thing, right? So I ran out the house this morning. I'd made myself a cup of tea in a mug, and then I found a lid from something else, and I put it on, and it fit perfect. And I was like, yes, I don't have to dash my tea. I can take it with me. And this tea was going everywhere, like. And I
Why
had to
didn't
try
you
and-
just decanter it into one of your coffee? You know, like your.
Because I was already in the car, and I just thought I was being
Oh.
really clever by putting this lid on the cup. And then he had what music was it? I can't. It was like Jazz FM. I don't mind a bit of jazz, but it was just, you know, on your journeys all too much. And at the moment, I think like regulating my temperature, body temperature is getting to me. So my journey in was a little bit stressful, to be honest. So I'm just glad to be here now.
Yeah.
Having a catch up. I've got my coffee, my pregnancy pillow, and my water.
And your water,
I'm-
and you're relaxed and comfortable.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I
How's
mean,
your
you could
journey
probably,
in?
you probably notice I'm a little bit nasally. Not COVID.
Yeah, I thought that.
Obviously testing all the time now because of work commitments. But I've had like a bit of like sinusitis, which you know I suffer with, and anyway, it's broken out into this cold, right? So
You're not allowed to have a cold anymore.
I know, no, this is it, isn't it? Like you feel. Like now, like since COVID, it's like any other form of cold has
it's-
disappeared.
yeah.
But anyway, so I'm sitting in the car and I had to do a phone interview on the way up here and I forgot my bottle of water and I'm sitting there and I'm
no.
literally, I could feel a coughing fit coming on,
it's
right?
the worst thing.
And I had no water. And then the more I'm trying to hold it in, I'm trying to speak. You know when you're like, I was going under my jumper, like trying to hide it in.
I bet the man was like,
And then I was
on
getting
the
all
window.
hot. Yeah, I was getting all hot. And then then we got to some traffic lights and like the cab driver, he like slowly undone the window a little bit. And then I like undone mine a little bit.
It's
So I
just so annoying though because it wouldn't matter pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But you can't even have a coffin fit anymore.
Well,
like,
no.
Because I think that as well. Like, what if you've eaten something spicy, or or you need to sneeze, or
I
dust?
So I was on a shoot the other day and I sneezed.
Oh,
And
clear the
someone
room.
went, "Oh, COVID," and I was like, "Oh no, I just sneezed. I haven't got
Sneezing.
COVID."
Do you know what? I actually got quite a funny story from ages ago, back when it was heightened and everyone was like, its worst. I was in a bank queue. Couldn't have been. I don't even know what I was doing in the bank, because I do it all online. I can't remember why I was actually physically in a bank. But anyway, I'm in this bank queue, and I sneezed. I needed to sneeze, and honestly, it was like I was spreading the plague. People,
yeah.
And I obviously had my mask on and bits, and it was when it was like high, but literally everyone stepped away from me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
It is. It's like literally you just can't cough or anything anywhere.
But you're feeling all right in yourself, just a bit.
Yeah, just like a little bit
No,
sinusitis. So I
I've
just always I think it's all to do with I always suffer with my ears, don't I? Ears, nose, throat. I'm actually under treatment now, getting all this sorted finally.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, because it's been an ongoing problem, and anyway, boring. Moving on. Half term. How's your half term?
Do you know what? It was good. We done quite a few. We didn't do. I didn't do as much as you. I've seen you've been here, there, and everywhere.
I think that's why I'm run down.
I think you've been up and down the country.
Just literally so exhausted.
Braved the storm. I see.
Don't the storm.
But yeah. What did we get up to? It was quite chilled, to be honest. And we went. I took the kids to trampoline park.
Yeah.
Men's hall. I was like to Big Paul, I was like, you've got to come with, because
you can't be bouncing around now.
Well, it's quite, the one we go to is quite good, because there are walking, but all of it, like in the kids' holiday, it's heaving.
Yeah.
And I went, you're going to have to come with. Paul was like, you said you was taking them. I said, yeah, but I'm backing out now. You've got to come with me, because you can do all the running about.
It's too much.
Yeah, exactly. So we done that, and then we went to, have you seen Frozen at the theatre?
No, I haven't. I feel like I've seen it, looks amazing, but I feel like Nellie's a little bit.
Well, you're
I
wrong.
don't know.
So we went on Sunday, me and one of my friends at the school, Sharon, and her little girl, Rosie, and her best friend, basically.
Yeah,
the four of
pictures
us.
look really cute.
So, and I don't know if I've told you, Rosie's actually never watched Frozen, the movie.
Okay.
She's not into the film at all.
Yeah.
She just likes the singing, the sisters, the dressing up, the dresses, everything that comes with Frozen, but she not necessarily watched the film. Actually, we went to Disney on Ice at Christmas, and she watched the ice skating. She liked that. Anyway, I was like, she's going to love it. Rosie's never been to a theatre in London. She's been to local ones, but not a big.
Yeah.
And it was quite wow. When you walk in there, it was one of them really big ones. She was like, I think she was a bit taken back by it all. Anyway, I don't know if it's because we had the 5:30 slot, because we couldn't get anything earlier, because it was obviously half term. But I would say it was probably 80% adults, right? Oh. So, look, the whole experience was still amazing. Kids don't really notice things like this, do they? But because there were so many adults in there, the first thing they say is, you can't sing, you can't do this.
What?
And I was thinking, we've got 2 4-year-olds here
Can't sing.
that want to sing Let It Go. Yeah.
What theatre do you go to where you can't sing? That's
So
the whole point of a musical now.
Exactly. But this is like, so Frozen it's a very high-end production. Like, it was incredible. Like, I'm not going to slate the show, because it was amazing. But I just thought, Frozen, it's going to be full of kids in Frozen dresses. And there was quite a few, don't get me wrong. But I think, was it because it was the 5:30 one? I don't know. Because they do a matinee, don't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Anyway, so I felt a little bit bad in the end, because I felt like I kept saying to Rosie, like, shh, keep it down a little bit.
What,
In
so
the
she- what-
end, I thought, I'm not going to tell you to shush anymore, because you're just enjoying yourself.
No.
Because people kept looking. Rosie and Grace were really getting into it. They were singing, they were giggling, they were whispering to each other.
Yeah.
Talking to each other. And there was quite a lot of, like, looks, looking back and this
Yeah,
and
but
that.
it's
But
Frozen's
I
a
thought-
children's musical, by the way.
Do you know what? I was thinking, Frozen is for children, right? We're
Yeah.
not sitting at Tina Turner.
What was it like? Was it more adult, or was it child friendly, or?
Yeah, like I personally think it might have been the time slot. I don't know, but I was expecting a theatre full of 6-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 7-year-olds.
But the show itself, would you say it was aimed at children, or?
Well, yeah. I think it's quite difficult with them West End kind of shows. Do you? Like, I think they are. There was some dark bits in it. There was actually this really random bit. I haven't watched Frozen, so this is, I don't know. And I said to Sharon, I was like, "Is this in the movie?" She was like, "No." So there was this bit where like they all had skin suits on, so it was like they were naked. And they was all doing this kind of like naked dance, but they were holding trees over their private bits. But it was really honestly, as I'm telling it, it's as random as watching it. Like,
Well, what part was that in?
I don't know, like a bit of a cut scene to do.
No, you know what it is? They're trying to put an arty twist. Like, it's like that kind of like West End.
And it was like, 15 people lined up doing all this dancing, but it was as if they were naked, but they were like holding leaves and stuff. And I looked at Sharon, I was like, is this in the movie?
I'm trying to think what part that would be.
I don't think it is, because she said it's not. Anyway, that was a bit peculiar. There was a lot of like looking because the girls were having fun. But other than that, it was amazing. I mean, it was, I guess, expensive. Like, it was $150 a ticket.
Oh, the theatre
Honestly,
is so dear.
Between us, that's £600. That's
I
about
know.
getting their dinner. Snacks. I'm
It's
not being tight, but
No, it's a
so
really expensive night or day out.
But there was, I mean, the costumes, the singing, like Elsa, she was amazing.
Really. Do you think Nelly would like it?
Yeah. I definitely think
Nelly,
it's worth taking
Nelly.
Nelly.
Hasn't seen Frozen for years. Obviously, it's quite old now. Frozen.
It is. Like, and there's some funny bits in it, and Olaf, and it is really good production. I would recommend it. But I would definitely, if you've got little ones, obviously go to the matinee, because I feel like maybe my slot was more aimed at I wasn't expecting adults, like so many adults. And obviously it's quite hard because they give you a cushion, but the kids can't necessarily see over the adults in front. So I had Rosie on my lap a lot, and obviously I'm pregnant, so I was just a bit. But anyway, definitely take Nelly because it is amazing. But I'd go to the matinee. But yeah, Elsa was incredible. Like the singing, the dress, and like the set was all like diamonds and crystals.
Oh wow, yeah, like a real, like a proper show.
Yeah, so that was good. And we had was another thing. When Nelly was younger, Arthur might have it. Did they ever have like this toy mascot thing in their class? And
oh yeah, of course,
they have to do adventures with it.
Yeah, they bring it home. You get photos, put it in the book.
So we had Buzz the Bee. And Rosie took her, I don't know if it's a him or a her.
Yeah.
But Buzz came out on the bike with us. Buzz went gymnastics with Rosie.
This is really funny, right? Sorry, just thinking about when Arthur hasn't had the. Oh, do you know what? I don't know maybe Arthur hasn't had it yet. When Nelly had it, right?
It stinks.
I washed it. I put it in the washing machine.
So ours was filthy.
Yeah,
and
you can wash them.
No, I was gonna wash it, but it had all these little. So this particular one's got like quite a few little delicate bits in it. I thought if I put Buzz and Buzz gets ruined because of me, I'm going to be the bad mum at the school. But I was the same, and Rosie was like really snuggling into it at night time, and I was thinking Buzz is filthy.
Yeah.
And when you look through that book where the kids have taken him everywhere, it's been everywhere.
Yeah, they go everywhere,
full of germs.
No, it's really funny.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. They're filthy.
Like when Nelly had one once, I did put it in the washing machine. Come home and I thought, she was like, it's going to sleep with me tonight. And I was thinking,
I said the same. I said to Paul, shall I put it in the washing machine? It's big Paul. And he was like, better not, just in case.
Yeah.
But I was going to be, it's really small.
Yeah.
And I was like, if anything happens to it, it'll be all my fault.
Bad mum.
So come on, tell me about your half term.
Okay, half term. So we took the kids to Brighton, right?
Yes, I saw that.
So it was really we had a really good day. We went up there. Thank God. The day we went.
You couldn't have chose a worse time.
No, the next day was when Storm Eunice hit. So we get to Brighton. Thank God the sun was shining. We took Lola, our niece, with us, and Nelly and Arthur, me, Greg, and we stayed in a really nice hotel actually. And
I saw you was on like the Brighton front.
We was right on the seafront. So the hotel reminded me. Remember the film The Witches?
Yes.
When they stay in that big grand hotel.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of that.
What was it called? Brighton?
It was called The Grand. Yeah.
Why have I been there? We've been there together.
Have we?
Years ago, me and you done this thing for the Daily Star newspaper, and we done Brighton Pier.
Oh, we did.
And we went to that. We went to that hotel.
Why couldn't I remember that?
So it was because I'm talking about 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
My memory's terrible.
And me and you went on Brighton Pier, and we went on that wooden roller coaster.
Oh, no, let me tell you about that, right?
Shit yourself.
No, it's now been updated, right? It's still like a mousetrap, but it's changed to a new one. I went on it with Nelly and Lola, right? My goodness, when I got off
I
of it,
think wooden roller coasters.
no,
terrifying.
it's not wooden, right? It's this other thing, right? But it's a mousetrap. But you're in this little round cart, right? And as it goes, it shoots round these little bits, and then it spins like a waltzer, like 100 miles an hour. But it's like over the edge of
Surprised
the.
you got on that. You
No,
really
I
like
didn't know it was
rides.
going to be that serious. And then it was like I felt like the cart was going to spin off into the sea. It was awful, right? And the wind was
I
getting
can
really
imagine-
high.
I can imagine your anxiety.
No, and I think Storm Eunice was on its way, right? Because when we got off the ride, no, that's what it was like. I was closing my eyes, thinking, please.
Did the girls
praying.
enjoy it?
They loved it.
They don't have the fear like
They
you do
don't.
as you get older.
And then the winds were getting really high, and then after that they shut the ride.
Oh
and
my
I was really like, oh
no.
my god. Anyway, so went on like a few more rides, took the kids for dinner. And
What's
then
it called? What is that called? That fun fair.
I think it's just called Brighton Pier.
Is it just
and it's
Brighton
just like a
Pier?
fun fair on the end of the pier.
Did you have some candy floss?
We had candy floss, fish and chips, and we took the kids for dinner, and then we went back to the hotel. Anyway, so you wake up in the
Nice.
morning, Storm Eunice is in full swing.
Did you know Storm Eunice was coming? Probably not, because you never look at.
Well, not
weather
really,
updates.
no, right? I mean, I'd heard about it, but you know, like you just don't really
You just
think
didn't,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, when I mean, so we're
'cause
looking
you're,
out.
like, on the seafront.
We're on the seafront, so
Yeah.
the waves are really big, right? Really big, and the wind was getting like bad. There's like this absolute lunatic, with like obviously like a dry suit or wetsuit on. He's swimming out, right?
I'm sorry, but that
in the
Why do
waves.
people do things like
And
this?
I was looking,
And then you hear of these horror stories.
we was watching from the balcony. We had like our room was right in the front, so we could see everything. And
Well,
we're
did you think
like-
he was going to try and do some surfing or something?
Yes, he had a surfboard
Oh
with him,
my
right? But they
gosh.
would not surf. I mean, I know nothing about surfing, but they
But they
were
weren't
not.
waves you could
No.
glide in.
Anyway, so got distracted, went for breakfast, come back, he was gone. So obviously I think hopefully done the right thing and come in. After about an hour, right, it starts getting really bad.
Well,
When I
yeah.
mean, it was like something out of a movie. The waves were going over the pier. The
God.
wind.
You obviously didn't leave the hotel.
No, but we had to go home that day because this was the next day. So we're checking on the weather. When is it safe to drive back? So I said to Greg, like, I feel really nervy about driving home, obviously in this storm. Then Greg was like, oh, let's go up. There's an arcade, like a 2-minute walk from the hotel, right?
Oh, no.
Let's go up there. We
Three
walked to the arcade, 2 minutes. It was really windy, but it was fine. By the time we left the arcade, walk out the arcade, do like a right. Greg said I'm going to go and grab the car because he was in a car park.
Yeah.
I said, right, I'll meet you back at the hotel with the kids. We're down like this little back street. As I've walked round the corner to the front,
Hit you.
when I mean it blew us back, right? We were
No.
screaming. There were adults, right? There were adults getting blown down the road. It was
so it
bad.
was like a wind trap where you'd walked out from.
Where we'd walked out from, it was secure. And then obviously as we've gone to the front, it's like bad. Like it was like a tornado.
No way.
So I'm screaming. I've got the 3 kids with me. I've run Greg. I'm like, you need to come and get us.
Well, it is
we
scary.
Can't. Right. So then Greg comes and gets us, get into the car, drive back to the hotel because we've got to get our bags and everything. And we had to like wait for the winds to settle down before we could drive back. We see people being blown along. We see a man like open up his car door and like he's like trying to like pull it. Like he's like, it was so bad.
You couldn't have been at any worse
Worse
point in the country.
and in the
For a
storm. Honestly, it was like a bit of a boo-boo. We was just like, oh my goodness.
Well,
me.
at least you had the fun before it got worse.
Yeah, and the good thing is we went the day before and had all of that. Yeah, so wasn't too bad. It was just like, oh, and then we had to drive home. We waited for it to settle down. We drove back. And actually, it was quite scary on the motorway. I don't know if you see like all the videos and stuff, but I was.
Well, so Paul and I were out the day, Storm, and what's his name?
Eunice.
Eunice. I keep going to call it Bernice. I don't know why.
Bernice.
Was that ever a storm?
Storm Bernice. Bernice.
Honestly. So Paul and I went for a spa day. So we was offered a complimentary spa day, and I thought, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Paul's
I'm
mum was
going.
like, go. And I was like, do you know what? I was like, I actually really want like a spa day, not just one treatment. They was like, you can book as many treatments as you want.
Yeah,
nice.
go and relax.
Exactly. So we drove there, which I was like really grateful for. It was lovely. But we had to wait until gone 9 o'clock, I think. Then it had all settled down. So I just booked Paul this, because I know he always loves a massage, but like a 60-minute massage, but I booked on with like a more of an experienced therapist, you know, like you can get. Anyway, so we're both just sitting there, and I don't know if Greg's the same, but Paul just prefers having a female therapist when it comes to a relaxing treatment. So he has like this guy called Ricky who does stuff for his legs and his knees, but he's more of like a sports masseuse.
Yeah,
like
of course. It's a different type of massage.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were going here for like a relaxing day.
I can see what's coming here.
So we're both kind of sitting in this room waiting to get our therapist to come meet us. I was going for a mum-to-be massage. He was going for his 60 minutes deep tissue or whatever. Anyway, so obviously my therapist comes over and Paul's comes over and it's just like this big man, like, and not that there's obviously anything wrong with this at all.
No, but it's just preference. Like, I would prefer a lady to massage me in that situation rather than a man.
Same.
It's just preference.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that he wanted just to have a relaxing massage. Anyway, so I just looked at him and I was, you know, you just like, but something came over Paul. So before they walked over, Paul went, I've got a feeling this is going to be a geezer. And I was like, why would you say that?
He went out there to the universe.
Didn't he? I went, you've spoke that into existence. Anyway, so, and then as he walked over, and yeah, it was just, and this man's gone, hi, my name's Paul. So his name's Paul.
Two Pauls.
Yeah. Anyway, it really tickled me because I was laying in my mum-to-be massage with my masseuse.
Did you keep giggling?
I kept giggling. But
thinking about it. Did he go through with the massage?
Yeah, but after was even funnier. So what's happened was, what I've booked Paul, it's my fault, right?
It's not one of them
so
where they start pulling all your legs and your arms.
Yeah, so basically I've come out the massage and I'm like literally sleepy, puffy, had the loveliest time. And Paul's had like a full I've had a full chiropractic clicking session.
What? So he's like clicked and pulled.
But obviously, to be fair, Paul went, it was brilliant.
Amazing,
he went, do you know what? He went, this guy's a specialist, basically. He's a specialist osteopath. No, not osteopath, chiropractic. I don't know. Whatever I've booked, it was like
really good.
This guy was amazing. But throughout the day, then I couldn't stop giggling because all Paul wanted was a relaxing massage. And I'm laying in mine with the lovely music, and I could just, then afterwards, all I could picture was Paul like being clipped, the legs, the arms, the neck.
Oh, don't.
Like
yeah, and like pulled around.
It was just making me laugh, and he went, oh, I'm glad that like you're finding it funny. But anyway, so just like to paint the picture, Paul went, he was amazing, but it was just the whole scenario, because I'm in my massage thinking, he's sitting there this whole time being rubbed, and I know that he's not probably feeling it.
He would have been more on edge probably if it was that way.
But it was very comical for me.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Can you remember
when
years
we was
and years
younger
ago,
and a man massaged you?
No, it was the seaweed wrap thing, right? No. Can you remember? I was only probably...
We was young. We was about 15.
About 15, right? So I never forget he knocked on the door and was like, hello. And I looked, I was like, but bear in mind they had to rub like this seaweed stuff all over you.
Where your boobs are.
And then they wrapped you up in this like, I'll never forget, I was so claustrophobic.
They
They wrapped me up like like you'd wrap a baby up in a muslin.
Yeah.
You know, like he swaddled me.
I had to say, why did we have a seaweed wrap that day?
But we probably wasn't old enough to have a massage. So we thought we're at the spa. Can you remember we have a seaweed?
And you had the male therapist.
He put this green like seaweed stuff over and then swaddled me in a hot blanket.
I
right?
remember you saying
and I was so claustrophobic. It was horrendous. I remember thinking I was going to have a panic attack. It was awful. I remember coming out of there. And I actually think, because I do get a bit claustrophobic, you know, like I'm really funny about getting in lifts. Like I
don't like the whole seaweed wrap thing that I've got to admit.
No, never again. Not
I
for
don't mind
me.
a body scrub.
I love like a massage or being clicked or anything, but I wouldn't make that mistake.
Well, you need to go here and see Paul then.
Oh,
this
I
man...
do. I'd love to have that done. Do you know I really want reflexology as well? I've never had that done.
So I do love a bit of reflexology.
Yeah,
I haven't
I've
had it in
never
a long
had it.
time, and I just started up pregnancy reflexology, but it had me over the other day.
Oh, it made you feel funny.
Yeah, because I
pressure
don't think I've had
points.
it done for a long time. I mean, I'm obviously speaking a lot about my sleep and stuff, and I'm going purely just to kind of help with the sleep and stuff. And it literally put me for 2 days. I couldn't balance. I think it was like my balance was out, or not my balance, but like I was so sleepy. It almost done it like too much. It almost like maybe relaxed me too much. I did need it because I've literally had quite severe pregnancy insomnia. I do think reflexology is amazing, but I think you just have to be.
Had it.
I think if you're going to do it, I've done mine in the morning. Do it like early evening.
Would you have it to like tell you certain things. You know, they could tell stuff, can't they?
There's different,
Or
yeah, you can have, some people can literally like look at your foot, touch your foot, and know that you've got, I don't know, like a gut problem, or you've got like, they like feel like these little like crystals, and they'll be
So
like,
interesting.
oh, your neck and your shoulders are really tight, like, and they can release stuff like from your, like your brain, like your headaches. I think it's a really amazing treatment, but I do think that pick what time of day you do it, because I was like,
bit off.
For a couple of days.
Actually, speaking of spas, we done a little spa night at Mum's the other night. Nelly got all so for Christmas she asked for like spa bits. She's like, I really want to have like,
yeah, I've got her some spa bits. Actually.
Yeah, she loves all of that. So we done a little spa night at Mum's, and
lovely.
Nanny Liz come and Libby and Eva. And
Did you have to paint Nanny's toenails?
Well, no, Nanny Liz was like the main client. Like Nelly had to do all the treatments on her.
I was going to say, because I don't know Liz's toenails last.
No, and it was really funny. So Nanny Liz puts her feet in the spa, and Nelly's like, oh, and Nelly was looking at me, right? Because Nanny Liz, bless her, she's got a couple of bunions, like, she's got a couple of and I could see Nelly like trying to put like the exfoliating gloves on, right? And Mum was going, come on now, you have to do this. And she was like,
was she putting the gloves on so she didn't have to touch her bunions?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
And she done like a little like,
that is just like you.
Yeah, she done like a 10-second like, ooh. And then she was like, I think I've had enough of that now. Really funny. I was like,
Nanny Liz's bunions.
I was like, excuse me, he's not a very good therapist. He needs to be.
That is so
really funny.
You're either a type of person that could do something like that or not. Like, I could deal with Nanny Liz's bunions. I don't think you could.
No, I'm a bit funny about things like that. I'm a bit the same as Nelly. I've been putting the gloves on.
I can just picture that. That's so funny.
Oh, it was really funny. She was
Nanny
all like up for
Margot
it.
had bunions.
Yeah,
She's
it's
quite
hereditary,
bad.
I think.
I hope we don't get
I hope
them.
we don't get them, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I think you can get them removed.
Yeah, Laurie had hers removed.
I remember
But that's quite a procedure, you know.
It's not quite big. Oh, don't.
Yeah,
It makes me feel
operation.
funny. Don't make my feet feel weird.
Well, it runs in the family. Let's talk about Mum's birthday.
Oh yes.
So that was the start of the half term. We went on the Sunday, didn't we?
Yes. So it was Sunday, and then we went back Monday.
So we went to the Berkeley. Was it Berkeley or Barclay?
I always say the Berkeley, but
Barclay.
however you want to pronounce it.
And that's actually one of Mum's favourite hotels in London.
Us three always do for Mum's birthday. It's tradition, isn't it? We
A
always
night
go
in
into London,
yeah.
and we do something nice, go for dinner. But actually, this
It
time
was quite different.
it was really tame,
Because
because
I was
usually us
pregnant.
three go wild, don't we?
We literally, I think the last time we went, we couldn't remember how we'd got home.
Yeah, and then
And
we
we
see
ended up
that pictures.
coming home on a tuk-tuk, or what they call it. Is it tuk-tuk?
Yeah.
And we did. Remember, we was like, how would we even get in our pajamas? How did we get in our room?
Yeah, and then we didn't remember that we got papped, and then we was all like,
mortified.
Daily Mail line article, and then we was like, oh my gosh.
At least we didn't have any fear factor this time. But no, it was lovely. And do you know what? I'm going to tell the story because it did actually annoy me. So between my management company and myself, we pay to have a
concierge.
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 This concierge app, and you pay for it each year, and they're like quite well known, and you know you've always guaranteed a table in whatever restaurant. They can do many things. Anyway, so I was like, I do use them quite a lot, to be fair, and they are usually quite good. So obviously I've booked Mum's dinner, haven't I, on this concierge app. Anyway, so we've walked into the restaurant, right, and we were 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
No, 20 minutes late, wasn't we?
Yeah.
So we had our reservation. We got to the restaurant 20 minutes late, walked in, just the three of us. Sorry, there's a 15-minute grace period.
Yeah, grace.
We've given your table away. What do you mean you've given our table away? But don't you think it was just the kind of the attitude instantly towards the three of us?
But from that kind of restaurant as well, you don't really expect that kind of like
Well, it's a
service.
Mayfair,
It's more like you'd expect, like, I'm really sorry, like, you're a little bit over the waiting period for your table. Like, could you have a drink at the bar? We're going to try and figure something out. Like, it was just like we've given your table away. You're
Yeah.
5 minutes over your grace period. And we was like,
Well,
sorry.
first of all, I was like, sorry, I didn't know there was a grace period. I booked it through a concierge company that is very well known. You'll know who they are. You've got my credit card details. It was like, come on. We're 5 minutes over this grace period that we didn't know about. Anyway, and I don't know if anyone can relate. At the moment in London, you cannot get, unless you've got a reservation, times have changed so much. Like, you can't just walk into a restaurant anymore and get a table. Like, it's so busy. You have to have bookings. You have to have passes. You've got to have your credit card. I feel like it's so different to how it used to be.
You can't be spontaneous.
No, you can't at all. So obviously, we was like, right, okay, we'll sit at the bar anyway. Well, I think we sat there for what, nearly an hour, didn't we?
Nearly an hour.
And then we was like, and
no, but it was almost like they'd forgotten about us.
They totally forgot about us.
So they said, right, okay, and then we obviously said, look, come on, like I was like, look, my sister's pregnant. We don't really want to.
We pulled the pregnancy card straight away. We pulled the pregnancy card because we thought it's pouring with rain. We don't want to be traipsing around London. Not only have we booked the restaurant, but we booked through the concierge company that we use to do other stuff, like to book through. So you sort of feel like they'd have a little bit of like, well, yeah, because they always like guarantee your table, like all this kind of guarantees that you get.
So they said, okay, well, instead of standing at the bar, you can sit at the bar. So we was like, oh, thanks, great. So we sit down. And about an hour's gone by, and we're like, hold on a minute. Like, we just had a drink, we was all chatting, catching up. And then we're like, hold on a minute. Like, we still not got to. Anyway, the manager comes over, really bad attitude. Wasn't he? Really bad.
Sorry.
Like, didn't want to be helpful, just wanted to be.
I just think as a manager of such a such a huge establishment in London, that the way he dealt with that situation was terrible. And bearing in mind, we'd sat there for an hour. Basically, it was like computer says no, wasn't it?
He was like, look, you can eat at the bar. And he pointed to like a little minuscule round table next to where we were sitting.
And the bar was heaving with like...
It was really... It wasn't the vibe we wanted.
It wasn't really. It was like heaving with like... kind of like a really young crowd.
No, and there was also quite a lot of people
it's our mum's birthday. We didn't want to sit and eat dinner at a bar.
No.
Anyway...
And there was quite a few people taking photos and videos, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was like a table next to us, and the girl I could clearly see what she was doing. She was FaceTiming someone and then twisting the camera around to like.
It was really...
It was just annoying.
The whole situation just really like peed me off. That was 5 minutes late. I just think that was like really bad. Like,
so
management, so cut a long story short, we left because we thought we're not waiting any longer. They're not going to sit us. Do you know what? In them situations, though, sometimes I do think like, was it the girls? Because it was like us three girls walking in. Like, do you know, like I just think sometimes. I do think that people might look at you and they can be quite judgy, and they'll be like, whether or not they want to give you a table, it's up to them. But then I think we're three ladies.
Yeah.
Like, you got one pregnant girl on board. There's not going to, like, I don't know.
No, but also there was like quite a lot of, like it was busy in there, but there was quite a lot of tables being cleared.
Exactly.
You could clearly see that, like, there were tables that could have squeezed us in somewhere other than around like bar stool at the bar.
I just think we should name and shame anyway. Sexy fish.
Sexy fish, you weren't that sexy after all.
No, that's a good one. No. And anyway, we walked up the road. We was done in there, and we went to our Park Chinois, Chinese,
and it was amazing.
And you know, we probably should have done that in the first place.
To be fair, it was so nice.
I feel like we was being a bit kind of sexy fish was a bit too clubby for us. With me being pregnant.
Well, it was just more of a nicer vibe in Park Chinois. You had no one like trying to take photos, a bit more private. There was a live singer, like it was just perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, they found us a table.
Yeah, they found us a table. Like obviously, it was really busy because it was the day before Valentine's Day. It was the day before
Valentine's,
so it was really busy out everywhere. But yeah, we ended up having a really nice evening anyway, didn't we?
Oh, it was really funny because then we got back to the room, and obviously Mum and Billie had been drinking cocktails and wine and whatever, and they were like chatting away, and I think it was maybe got to about midnight, I can't remember. But I was so tired. Like, obviously, when you're pregnant, we've obviously been out all day.
Yeah,
so
it was
a long day. And then, but I still couldn't switch off from them two nattering away. And I remember this one point, because Mum was in the pot-up bed, wasn't she?
Yeah.
We had like this lovely room, but Mum was in like the little side. Mum always goes, I'll go in there.
Yeah, always goes on.
She always wants to go in there. Yeah. We're like, anyone will go in there. And I think Mum was about to start usually having all different conversations. Mum was about to start a whole new conversation about something. She went, you know what's really nice? And then I went... Peace and quiet, please.
And that was our hint to shut
That
up
was
and go to
literally, wasn't it?
sleep.
It was like, okay, that's bedtime.
It was like the pregnant lady has
Yeah.
spoken.
But it's funny because we do usually go wild. And
Oh, we do, yeah. But it was actually nice and tame.
can I just say that the manager at Sexy Fish was lucky that it was a tame
Tame
night. 'Cause
night,
he would have
yeah.
got told otherwise. we was quite polite.
We was actually, yeah.
But anyway, we ended up having a really good night. Mum really enjoyed herself. And
Yeah.
the next day we went to this other restaurant in town that we hadn't been to before,
Yeah, that was really lovely.
which is called, what was it called?
It was that nice, we can't remember the name.
Daphne's. Really lovely little lunch spot, guys, and dinner spot. Speaking of food, actually, I went to Wimpy the other day.
Oh, did you have a bender in a bun with
I
cheese?
did. I got a picture. It's the first time I've
That
been in
is the
Wimpy, and I
best.
worked
I've
it
not had a
out for about
Wimpy
4 years.
I've not had a Wimpy for years.
So look, I took a picture.
Really,
just
when
to
you
show
think about it, a bender in a bun with cheese is quite easy to recreate at home. It's
This
just
is
a
what I said to
frankfurter,
Paul. But
chopped
then how
up
do they?
onions.
Yeah, but then how do they get the bender
To bend.
To bend, and they slice the bend, and it's a little bit crispy.
I reckon they put it in like a round, like a ramekin.
Yeah,
And they must fry it in the ramekin and slice it.
But there's something about their little tiny chopped onions that are so nice.
So nice. It's fresh. I know it's nice.
I know.
and
Look, just,
Can't
it
believe-
was
that is my
amazing.
favourite. Greg doesn't get it. Like
Really?
when I've been to Wimpy before, Greg doesn't understand the bender in a bun with cheese.
Oh, and the milkshakes.
Oh, it's so nice.
All the milkshakes
and the
and
chips.
Yeah, well, I was more into the bender in the bun and the milkshake than the
Yeah.
chips, but it was a treat.
Oh, that's a treat. Yeah,
and I
could
worked
eat
it
that
out
today.
that I hadn't been there in years. And it
I
was
haven't.
Really nice.
Me and Fern, when we used to work together at the football academy, going back when we was like 17, we always used to go Wimpy on our lunch break.
No, and actually, this is quite funny to tell the listeners. Mum used to work at Wimpy. didn't
Mum did
she?
used to work at the Wimpy, yes.
The
That
one
was her
in-
Saturday
is it
job.
Upminster, in
Upminster,
Essex.
yeah.
Mum's Saturday job.
That's where our love of the bender in the bun.
and Mum
comes
said that
from.
she was like their top kind of girl in there, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she used to give all her friends free
Free,
milkshakes.
yeah. This episode is sponsored by Katie Loxton, who are the go-to online destination for beautifully personalised handbags, accessories and gifts.
And with Mother's Day just around the corner, it's the perfect place to find beautiful gifts.
What are you getting, Mum, this year, Billy?
I was looking online and Katie Loxton do have some really lovely things I think Mum would like. They've got gorgeous candles, this lovely reed diffuser set, hand creams.
And what about that weekend hold-all? They've got one out in sage green at the moment. And I've also seen they have this green kind of blanket scarf that matches it. And we can get it personalised. I think she'd really like that.
There is so much to choose from. Also, Katie Loxton are offering a special treat for all of our listeners. They're offering exclusive 15% discount code for all their Mother's Day gifting if you use the code Sam and Billie 15 in capital letters.
And don't forget, they all come beautifully wrapped with a free personalised gold bow bag.
So visit katieloxton.com now and use the code Sam and Billie 15, all in capitals, for 15% off.
Okay, so it's that time to do Ask Us Anything. So first question we've got in from our listeners is, what's the naughtiest thing the kids have ever done?
Now that's hard for me because mine have done a lot of naughty things in their time.
Yeah, I'm not saying mine are perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, Rosie's done something quite naughty. How old was she? Must have been over a year ago. She got a black marker pen once.
I think I remember this.
Right. So she's got a Sharpie from probably kitchen drawer. And she'd gone round her room and she drew like a little dash. Do you know what I mean? Like a little line on everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not just saying it, not even, okay, like the Barbie's heads. We've all cut Barbie's hair before and done a bit of damage to Barbie.
Yeah.
But what I mean is she's done the hand-painted, handmade doll's house.
Oh,
Like she's done the
no.
cot at the time. She had like a bed cot thing in her room.
She's gone
She's
to
done
town.
this mirror, this lovely pink mirror that I'd got her. But in the end, I went, Paul, to Big Paul. I was like, she's actually done this on everything.
She's got a hidden agenda with this.
Yeah, and it's and honestly, I mean, look, I didn't go berserk, but I was like, why have you done this? Look what you've done to all your lovely things.
Thing is, like with kids, like what would you describe as naughty? Because like, I mean, take for example, Arthur did something quite naughty last night, which I think because there's all different levels, isn't there, of like,
of course,
behaviour, right? So I think this is naughty what Arthur did last night. So they both had a slice of cake after school, right? Victoria sponge.
Slice of cake.
Slice
Oh,
of
I love a
cake.
slice
Slice
of
of
cake.
Victoria sponge after school.
Was
So
it from the farm
Nellie's.
shop?
Yeah, so
Oh,
Nellie's
that's best.
Nellie's sitting there and she had like probably about 2 mouthfuls of her cake left, right? Let's say she got up to go to the toilet. I'm pottering around the kitchen. Come back, Arthur's sitting there, right? And Nellie's Mummy, where's my cake gone? And I
Oh,
can see he's
no.
like, but then he's
Oh.
still got quite a substantial bit on his plate, right?
Yeah.
So he
Greedy.
really greedy, right? Greedy, gluttony, right? She's gone to the toilet and he slipped the bit of
Yeah,
her
that's-
cake.
that's
I think that's
naughty.
naughty, right? So I went, that is so naughty, Arthur, right? But-
Yeah.
And then I I grabbed the cake and I cut a slice back off his cake. Well, the meltdown.
I bet I could
But
imagine.
to be fair, right, Nellie actually didn't really care. Nellie's
No.
not that with food. She can like take or leave.
But
She's
if
not
you'd
fussed.
done it to Arthur,
Well,
yeah.
even though he'd taken her bit, and then he didn't like, he was being so greedy guts,
Yeah,
that he didn't even want to like say, oh, sorry, yeah, you
I
can
think
have
that
bit.
warrants a telling off because
That's naughty.
like you don't like.
I mean, you don't take food
You don't do
off someone else's plate when they go to the toilet.
toilet. Definitely don't do that to Uncle Paul.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you just don't do that. So I think that's
So
quite
one day,
naughty.
if it does it to the wrong person, he's in big trouble.
Exactly. I think that's quite naughty.
Yeah, that is actually quite naughty.
Trying to like with Nellie at the moment, like she's very cheeky and lippy, like
Yeah.
very, very cheeky, lippy. Trying to think of something which I think is quite naughty that she's done.
Well, I guess
I mean, when she was younger, loads of things.
the only thing that sticks out for me, but it's not really naughty. It's more of a cry for attention, isn't it? The cutting the fringe.
Oh no, then that's really naughty. I think though because she knew
She
knew.
was older. She wasn't.
She,
yeah, she wasn't
I mean,
little.
again, like that is. I mean, it is a cry for attention, but it's still naughty.
Yeah.
Like, what you know not to do that.
know
She
not
was
to cut your
6 when she done
fringe.
that. She knew not to cut herself a mullet, and now I have to deal with the repercussions of that. Still, like a year
Still
and a half
going
later,
on, yeah.
Because every morning before school, it's like I can see my mullet, and I have to like gel it down, have to spray it,
Who's
create
that
all
old-
these hairstyles.
Who had a mullet? Was it Rod Stewart?
Rod Stewart. Got herself Rod Stewart.
Cut herself a Rod Stewart. Right, okay, so next question is biggest career dream. What would you say yours is? That's
Ooh.
quite a wide
Biggest
question.
career dream. I suppose like, I've always dreamt of like having my own like businesses and building like my own house. You know, like
You've kind of accomplished all that.
well, not really. Like
What's
I always,
the next big dream for you?
I think I just want to continue to keep building
Building
on
your
everything
empire.
and be, get to an age where I don't think I'll ever stop working. I enjoy it. Have such
No.
a drive to get up and work every day, and I think that something that's in me and will never change.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's just to keep going.
Keep it all alive.
Keep it all alive. Keep doing nice things. Look forward to like when I'm older one day to I suppose relax a little bit more and
Yeah. I think a life goal for everyone should write it on your vision boards is to be able to work from anywhere in the world
yeah.
with your laptop
With your yeah,
on the beach
true.
with a cocktail.
Exactly. Yeah, that is-
Ultimately, when like you're in your 50s, that's where you want to be at.
absolutely. Like that is probably that is
Well, sooner if you can get there sooner.
Mm.
I'd say one of my dreams at is it a dream? Yeah, I guess so. What I'd love to do, and I have spoke to you about it before actually. Not right now, I don't think the time's right. I would love to film like my own documentary with, these amazing people that have the organisations and stuff for like the child trafficking.
Oh right, yeah.
I feel like it's a real passion of mine. I do keep it quite quiet. Sometimes I share stuff on social media. It's a very dark world.
Yeah.
So do people want to see it? No. Do I post it? Yes, occasionally, because I think people need to wake up to the whole child trafficking thing, and it just really interests me. And I'd love to do some kind of documentary series on that, but I don't think the time's right now because I think that is, I've got young children, I've got the baby coming,
and I suppose it's something that you really need to
you need to be like
and
in
do your
the
research.
right frame of mind.
I know you've done loads of
But
research.
yeah, and also
into
it's
it
quite
anyway, but-
dangerous. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not exactly going to be. But yeah, I'd love to do that because I just feel like it is out there, but it's not really because people don't like to talk about
it's
it.
just
and it's
something
a bit of
that you feel like you really want to look like.
accomplish at some point in life. That I'd love to do that to put it out there on my platform, basically.
Yeah.
So that is something I would like to do. But yeah, other than that, you know, what I was saying, the ultimate dream really is for all of us to be
Yeah.
YOLO, just loving life. What is
Yeah.
that real, isn't it? Is it Kourtney Kardashian or Kim? I can't remember. And it's basically just them saying, I'm just out here loving life. I'm just living life. So do you have, last question, a male celebrity crush? Oh, I actually do, you know.
Yes, I do. Who's yours?
Mine is, and I follow him on Instagram. Let's get him up. Look at him. Mine's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I just think he's,
What?
He's 50, by the way.
Can I just have a look?
Yeah, of course you can.
But has he always been like this? I don't follow
Marky
him,
Mark.
actually.
He has actually always, I think he's always been pretty fit.
Wait, isn't he an actor as well?
Yeah.
He's in loads of things.
Yeah.
So he's an actor / entrepreneur.
He's got like the...
Oh, producer.
Yeah, and he's also got the big chain of restaurants, isn't he? He's, yeah. Paul knows that he's my male celebrity crush. Who's yours?
Mine's Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yeah, you've always fancied him.
Thomas Shelby. He's just... But so obviously in real life, Cillian Murphy.
Right, yeah.
Have I got that right?
Do you fancy the character? Or
yes.
do you fancy him in real life?
I fancy the character.
Right, that's
the
quite
way
easily done, yeah.
Oh, he's just... I think so many would agree with me. Thomas Shelby. If you watch Peaky Blinders...
Nope.
Oh, my God. If you watch it, I think you'll be in love with him.
Just Mark Wahlberg for me. It's a random one, though, because he's older, I guess. But
yeah. And they... Do you know what?
I do think it's quite easy to get sucked into, like, series and stuff, though, and fall in love with that character because it's like they're on screen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the persona and...
Yeah, that's exactly what it is with Thomas Shelby.
Yeah. But not necessarily in real life.
Anyway.
Well, that's it. That's us done for this week's episode.
Yeah.
That was a great catch-up.
Yeah, I feel like we was like...
I hadn't seen you since Mum's birthday.
Well, also as well, yeah, because we haven't seen each other across the half term. There's so much to chat about.
Yeah, so much to chat about. But anyway, so that's it from us this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget, you can watch us on YouTube, subscribe, comment, slide into our DMs if you've got any questions or anything you want us to talk about. And yeah, see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.